Hey guys, Mary from SVG Cuts here. I'm so excited about my winter lodge. It's actually a lot easier to put together than you would think. I've got all kinds of guidelines built into it so that it's really clear where all the pieces go. When you take a look at your PDF, I added extra helpful information about exactly where all the decorative pieces go on each wall. So let's get started.
So normally in the PDF, I just put the different shapes and what they're called. But for this one, I also laid everything out the way that it gets glued together with the different panels. See exactly where the different shapes go. And then I also have a vellum placement little area here where it shows all the different pieces of vellum that are going to go on the back side of your various pieces for your lodge. So I went ahead and did most of that, as much as I could already. So as you can see, I've got piece number 1 here, wall number 1, and your machine will have cut a number into the side of the wall pieces. And I went ahead and darkened that in with a marker just to make it easier to see for this video. You can do that if you want to, but you don't need to. So this is piece number 1. It's got some siding here and some stone here, which, I mean, you don't have to make yours look like stone or siding. I just kind of felt like that was an easier way to kind of reference it, because that's how I did mine. So this paper is just the same color as the wall, but it's a smaller piece, so it will fit inside of an embossing folder. If you are into embossing, you can go ahead and feel free to emboss that if you would like. I used the notebook folder by Sizzix because to me it looks the most like siding out of all the embossing folders that I've seen. I use that one quite a bit for siding when I want to make it look like siding. So I also have a folder called Bricked by Tim Holtz, which I used for this stone. I wanted it to look like stone down there. So this is a space for the chimney, and we have the chimney here, which is just one piece, and it's got some decorative panels on it. Then piece number 2 looks like this, and if you would like, you can go ahead and glue your 2 vellum windows. There are a few pieces of vellum that look like this. They're all the same size, so just grab 2 of those, glue them on. And then this brown trim has some white snow behind it. You can see the white snow there. So you want to glue the snow with the trim, the brown trim on top of it. Glue that down, put your panels in place like so. And then this guy will go on after the wall gets kind of glued together. Then we can go ahead and put this on, since it curves around the wall. And at that point, we can put our window on too. So that's piece number 2. And also in piece number 2 is this window. So I went ahead and started to glue that together. We will put our vellum on next, as well as the little awning in the top and the bottom. So next we have wall number 3 rather. It gets folded like this. It's got, I already put my lantern, which I'll put the other one together here in just a minute. But I also put on these 2 windows with the snow behind them, and I put on this siding, more siding here with the window on top with the shutters, and I embossed the shutters with the notebook folder also, as well as this stone down here. And there's also a decorative brown window trim on top of the existing brown window trim with some snow behind it, some panels, and some vellum. So again, like I was saying, if it helps you to look at your document either on your computer or if you want to print it out, all of those little pieces here are all shown on this. And as you can see, I have my long piece of vellum, my small window vellum, and then at first I want to put my other lantern into place, and then I will put my other piece of large vellum on the back. And then we've got wall 4 here. It's got the 3 pieces of vellum in the back, which it does show again, just in case you forgot. I have a nice little diagram here with the vellum pieces. So you can see it says the wall that's labeled 4 is right here. And as you can see, if you flip it over, we've got the 3 pieces of vellum, just like it shows in this little vellum diagram. And then I went ahead and glued on some more decorative panels and some windows and all that. And then we've got piece number 5 is pretty small because that back wall is so long that it takes 2 pieces together. So we're going to glue that together. This does not get folded on the side. There's just some little guidelines scored into it so that you can glue that together. And then we've got some more decorative panels right here. So those are all the wall pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my little lantern here and put that together. So the first thing I'm going to do is put some glue on this little part up here and form the little top of my cute little lantern. And then, as you can see, this back tab here that's triangular, as well as the sides, are folded towards me. And then I'm going to fold the bottom into place, and this bottom tab is folded towards me. So just a little glue on these 2 little triangular bottom tabs with the bottom into place. And then I can go ahead and put this into place. And as you can see, this side tab is wider than this one. So that means we want this one over here. Because as you can see, there's just less room over here on the sides of these. So it does matter which one you put in which spot. So I'm going to go ahead and put my little lantern into place. And you probably want to do this on top of some scrap paper, just in case you get some glue outside, because in just a minute I'm going to flip it over and push down from the front side. So now that my little lantern is in place, I can go ahead and put my vellum into place, my large piece of vellum. Which is going to go just like this. So I can go ahead and put some glue around, all the way around everything, and pop this guy right into place. So that was wall number 3. It's labeled 3 here on the side. So I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to grab wall number 2, which has this nice little bay window. So as you can see, I went ahead and I folded it, and I also folded the snow part, and I put that inside. We can also go ahead and put our vellum inside. So I'm just going to put a nice line of glue all the way around, maybe a little bit inside, and glue that right into place. So then next, the top and the bottom are, this is the top and the bottom is the same. So I'm going to put some glue on these tabs here. And fit my top right onto it. I'm just going to go one tab at a time. Make sure everything's lined up nicely. And it's taking hold. And then I'll do the same thing on the bottom. So just some nice glue going all the way out to the little corners and the edges of the fold. And again, I'll just put this right into place. One tab at a time, lining it up nicely. There we go. Oop. So that glue is taking hold in there. I'm going to go ahead and flip this up. And this is going to go inside the cutout of wall number 2 here. Once I put some more glue on there, it didn't quite hold well enough. And then also flip this tab up. So we've got tabs on all 4 sides of our little cute window, and that can go just right inside. And it fits inside just right. So of course I can go ahead and put some glue on all 4 of these tabs. And nice and easy being able to lay it down flat and push down on that glue on all 4 sides. So just one more. And there we go. And then this part here, we want it to be folded like this. So we might as well grab piece number 1 here, which looks like this. We can go ahead and put some glue on it and glue piece number 2 to piece number 1. Then I can take my piece of siding here, which has a tendency to get kind of delicate when it's embossed. So luckily it's not tearing apart or anything. And then I just want to center this cutout around the window and put that right into place. I'm going to set this on the edge of my little tabletop here. and push down from both sides. And then I can do the same thing with this nice little piece of stone here. And I really like to rub an ink pad around the edges of most of the shapes that I cut out and glue on, especially decorative panels or what have you. I just think it usually looks really nice. So I might as well go ahead and put my little window into place with some glue around the edge of it. Might be a little heavy on the glue there, but there we go. There's our cute little window. I just want to make sure it's centered. And if you get extra glue in place, if you have some kind of little stylus or something, I don't have it with me, but I have this little tool that's for poking holes in things, and if I have extra glue, I like to use that to get the glue out. So oh, we can also put our little awning into place, which goes above the bay window. So to do that, I'm going to put some glue here and here. And I will go ahead and do that also on the other side of it. Just a little glue in both spots. And get that into place. And then that can just go right on the front of our cute little front of our lodge. So I've got some glue on the back of it, and I just want to center it right on top of our bay window. And the bottom of the awning is just touching the top of the window down there, nice and centered. I'm just going to hold that for a second as it takes hold. If you have maybe a end of a pencil with the eraser or something in there, if you want to stick it in there to help the glue take hold, but just kind of squeezing it is working just fine. So next we can take piece number 3 here and go ahead and glue that to piece number 2. So I will put some glue on this long tab here. And glue that into place. So of course I'm just lining it up nicely. It's always nice to be able to lay it down flat and glue that right into place. So the front of our building is taking shape, looks really nice, and we might as well take piece number 4 and glue that onto piece number 3. So here is piece number 3, putting some glue on it. Go ahead and glue piece number 4 onto number 3. And of course, as always, you want to line it up nicely and make sure that it's still in the right place as the glue is drying. then we can take piece number 5 and 6 here. And if you look very closely, there are 4 little tiny lines that your machine will have cut into this piece here, and those are there just as guidelines to help you line up the one piece with the other. So you just want to look closely and get those lined up really nicely. Yep, and I got it lined up. And then I can go ahead and put this decorative piece on to cover up that seam. And I just want to center it in that little space there. And then we can go ahead and glue that onto piece number 4. So the walls are really taking shape here. It's coming together really nicely. It's starting to become a large project, which is exciting. So now I'm just going to put some glue on the side tab of wall number 6, which is the back wall, and glue that side wall right into place. Next, for our little entryway, you can see that I have my little trim and my window panel inside, just like it shows in your PDF document. Yours will look a little different. You will have your door here. Mine, I kind of changed it a little bit to be easier, so mine is not there. Your door will be in place. So we can go ahead and put some glue on this little side tab. Glue that into place. And then go ahead and put some glue on this bottom tab and these 2 little other bottom tabs here. And you can go ahead and fold the bottom right into place. So next we can take our little awning piece here, and what we want to do is put some glue on either side of it. Both sides are the same. The front looks just like the back. So I'm taking my little front trim piece here, and it's got a little decorative piece on it, and then I am just gluing it right into place on the front of this awning. Then I can go ahead and do the same thing on the back side. This, and glue that right into place on the back. So there's our little front entryway awning, and now we can take this, and again, yours will have the front door. You will have a little door in here. Mine's a little different. And we can just pop this right into place. So there's that, super cute. We might as well go ahead and put our little chimney together. And the chimney is really simple, straightforward. It's got some panels on it already. And I'll just put some glue on that side tab and glue that right into place. Then we can put some glue on these bottom tabs and fold that bottom into place. There we go. Next, I'm going to put the bottom of the house together. And the bottom it's too big to fit on a piece of 12 by 12 paper, so that's why it's in two pieces. And there's these two little squares here so that you can easily see where it lines up to go together. And there are also some tiny little dashed lines here, just as guidelines to help you line up the two pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue here, and then I'm going to use those little dashed lines as well as that little square to line it up just right. So now I'll move some things out of the way here, and it's gonna go, we're gonna flip it over and your house is gonna get glued right to it. So it could be a tiny bit tricky only because it's kind of a large project. But let's see, where's the best place to start? I don't know. One of the sides or the back. It's kind of difficult to you can't really flip the house over and lay it down. So it's a little tricky like that, but we are just going to, you're basically just going to glue the sides to the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and put a line of glue along the side here, which is where this side goes. And I'm just going to glue that right into place. So you just want to do this for the walls going all the way around, just carefully gluing it, lining it up nicely, and just glue those walls right into place onto the bottom. I'm going to take my time and make sure that this is really taking hold before I lift it up and start moving it around, just so that everything is nice and straight. So I'm just going to work my way around, putting some glue, for example here, gluing that into place, maybe working from the inside a little bit. So go ahead and glue your walls onto the bottom of your building. I've got my walls all glued to the bottom of my building here. It's a pretty large project. It's going to be really cool. So at this point, I might as well go ahead and put these optional pieces. If you would like to put these optional pieces in place, you can. They just go on the inside of your house to finish it off, if you would like to do that. So you can see exactly where everything goes. Just glue that into place. This large one goes on the side. So now is, before we add anything else to our house, now is kind of a nice time to just glue those into place. And then there's also a bottom liner which goes together like this. I cut mine out of a different color, but you get the idea. And again, this piece has two little tiny circles as well as some dashed lines that are going to help you line it up just perfectly with the two little circles on this piece. So I'm just going to put that right into place. I can see that I've got it just right. And then I can go ahead and, if my sides were glued, my interior sides, if I had glued those already, then I can just go ahead and glue that right into the bottom of my house. Next, for the base of our house, I've got mine all cut out of dark brown, and as you can see, these pieces here are numbered. So your machine will have cut a number into the edge of the side tab on each of these pieces, and I went ahead and darkened it in with a white marker so that you could see the numbers in this video. So you can do that if you want, but it's not necessary. So all we're going to do is glue these together side to side, 1 through 7. So as you can see, I put some glue on piece number 1, and I'm gluing piece number 2 to it. And I'm just going to work my way down, gluing all 7 pieces together. So I've got all 7 pieces glued together, and piece number 7 actually does not get folded because that is the back wall, which is extra long, and we just want to create one long piece here. So this will be the sides of our base of our house, and this little bump out over here is going to be the chimney. What we're going to do is set that aside and take a look at the top and the bottom. So these are going to go together kind of similarly to some of the other large pieces that we have put together. So as you can see, this piece and this piece both have 2 squares on them, as well as some little dashed lines that are just there for guidelines if you look closely. And I am just going to put these guys together. Oops. Just carefully lining up those 2 little squares. So you want to make sure that it's lined up really nicely so that everything falls together just right. And then the same goes for this piece, which has the two little circles on it. So we want to go ahead and put some glue on this side of it. And again, there are little dashed guidelines that help you line it up just right, because we really want this to be lined up perfectly so that the sides fit together with the top and the bottom really nicely. So first I'm going to glue the top into place, and the top of the base is the one with the circles, not the little squares. So I've got my sides laid out here, and I can tell that this is lined up the right way because this flat side is here, the back flat is, it's flat in the back. The front has, you know, coordinating shapes, and on this side there's a coordinating shape. So I'm going to just kind of anchor this in place by putting some glue on this nice long side tab here. And I'm just going to carefully line this up nicely on the side. And once my glue starts to take hold, I'm going to flip this over and push down from the inside. And then I'm just going to work my way around one tab at a time, or more if you want is fine, but just like bit by bit, I'm just going to work my way around gluing these tabs into place. So you're just going to follow the shape of the edge, gluing that into place all the way around. So now I've got the top of my base glued to the sides, and I'm going to go ahead and put my little support inserts inside. So they're two pieces that look just like this, and it doesn't really matter what color they are because no one is ever going to see them. So if you want to use up some paper that you don't really care for the color of, go for it. So as you can see, I just put some glue on those three tabs, and it doesn't have to look pretty or be necessarily perfect, as long as when you lay it flat, it lays flat. So I've got both of those made, and I'm going to go ahead and glue them right into somewhere in the middle of the two halves of this. So those are just there to add some support to the house for the base. And then now all that's left to do is glue the bottom into place. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and carefully put a line of glue all the way around the edge, going out to the little corners, getting pretty close to the edge, as well as a little bit in here. And then I will go ahead and put the bottom into place. So I've got glue on all of those areas, and I'm just carefully putting this bottom into place, making sure that those little corners are lined up nicely. And there is my nice base. And it's starting to take hold, so I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and make sure that that glue is all working in there. And now I can go ahead and put my house right onto the base. So this is where I'm going to put it. I'm just going to center it right on there and glue it down. So to do that, I'll just go ahead and put some nice glue pretty close to the edge all the way around my building. and some random squiggles in the middle. And then I just want to carefully center this. So we want there to be a nice even border around the back and the two sides, which means that the front kind of falls into place in the right spot. Once you're happy with it being centered, you can go ahead and push down a little bit from the inside. And then we can go ahead and take our chimney that we put together and put some glue on the back side of it, as well as the bottom, and just center that right on this nice sidewall here. Make sure that it's taking hold. And then we can put our steps together. So here are our steps. I've got 3 different pieces here. I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on this guy. Maybe give it a little longer to take hold there. And then put some glue on these 3 tabs, fold that over, and do the same thing on the other side. And then we can go ahead and do that to this piece. And I'm using shimmery gray paper for this, and it seems like with shimmery paper, you have to hold it for a little longer while the glue dries. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but definitely takes a little longer. And then you can go ahead and put some glue on these 3 tabs on both sides and fold those ends over. And finally, this piece, same thing. Just bend those over. Glue that into place, and again put some glue on these 3 tabs and fold that end over, and do the same thing on the other side. So I've got my 3 step pieces here, and I'm gonna take a look and say, oh, you know what, this is okay, but I like the way that this front side looks a little better. If you've got a side that looks a little bit nicer, you can kind of hide the one that's not your favorite. And as you can see, I took this large one, I put some glue on the back and the bottom, and I'm going to carefully slide that into place at the front. And it just fits right in there perfectly. And I'm going to do the same thing with this piece. A little line of glue on the back side and on the bottom. And I'll go ahead and put this right here underneath the bay window. Might want to hold it a little bit longer than me just to make sure that it's taking hold, that the glue is taking hold. So I'm going to take this decorative piece here and center that right onto my steps. And that kind of covers up that seam a little bit, and it also shows you exactly where you want to put this final little step piece. So I will put some glue on the back side and the bottom of it. and I will center that right in that little cutout area right there. So next we can take our little entryway that we made, and again yours will have the front door on it already, but I can take this piece and put some glue on the back side of it as well as on the bottom, and put that right into place, right front and center of the entryway. So I might as well put my door into place so that mine looks like yours. And then I've got my little door knocker. If you want to use a brad, like a little sticky doorknob or a door knocker, this guy, I'm going to take my poker tool and poke a hole, put that right in the center of the door. And then you can also put your little planters into place if you would like. So to do that, I just put some glue on the side tab there, and then put some glue on the bottom tabs and fold that bottom into place. And if you want to take some hot glue and stick some little branches from outside in there, and then glue it right into the center in the front, I think it looks super cute. So next, for our roof of the winter lodge, I've got the main pieces of the roof laid out here, and there are 6 pieces, and I put some little guidelines on each one. So as you can see, for example, here there are 3 little squares, and there are also 3 little squares here, and then there's a triangle here, there's a triangle here, and there's a rectangle here, a rectangle here. So that's going to help you line it up easily, because you can see exactly which tabs go together. So I'm going to start over here. This one with the 3 little circles, we want these to be folded towards you. So all the folds are going to be mountain folds, which means that it's like shaped like a mountain. This is a valley fold when it's shaped like a valley. So everything is going to be a mountain fold except for what I'm about to show you. These are a valley fold. On this piece, these are a valley fold. On this piece, these 2 are a valley fold. On this one, they're all mountain folds. On this piece, these 2 are valley folds. And on this piece, these guys here, where the chimney is going to go, are valley folds. So we can go ahead and start to put together our roof. So all I'm going to do is glue them together. It's pretty straightforward because of the little shapes. And I'm just going to go one tab at a time and glue each tab into place. So as you can see, I'm just lining up over here. I've got these 2 circles lined up. Then I'm going to put some glue on these tabs and line them up. There's a triangle right here, so that's going to go on this piece. And then its neighbor can go into place, and the 3rd tab can go into place. Then I can put some glue on this long tab here that has the rectangle on it and glue that into place. So I'm getting this little triangle tab glued down, and then the longer one. And you can take your time a little bit more than me and be more meticulous. I'm probably rushing a little bit because I don't want this video to be too long. And then this guy can go into place here. So I'm going to put glue on this long tab and this little smaller tab and glue that right into place. As well as the little smaller tab. So as always, you want to be careful to line everything up as nicely as possible. Take your time. I'm going to bend this out of the way here. And glue these guys into place with some glue on this long tab with the 3 little squares on it. There's another one underneath it, but I'm going to go first. I'm going to get this guy situated, and then I can glue the other one from the inside. I'm just going to flip that over and put some glue on this tab inside. Glue that into place. And finally, this piece here can go into place just like this, with these 3 tabs. And the bottom of this part kind of kicks out a little bit. It's probably, might be easier to start with the larger tab, but you get the idea. And now this tab can get some glue on it. And you can glue this final peak together. So there are the 6 pieces of the roof. And now we can take our front and side peak pieces and glue those together. So these 2 are kind of a sharper peak. This one's a little bit wider. This one's going to go on the side, and then the taller of these 2 is going to go on the left side. This one will go on the front right side. So to put these in place, I'm going to put some glue on the front here and glue this guy right into place, 1 tab at a time. And of course I want it to line it up really nicely and take my time and just go 1 tab at a time. Then I can put some glue on these 3. And finish gluing the face of this peak into place. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the other two peaks. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my little dormer window together, and it's going to be shaped like this. I went ahead and put my white snow and then my vellum on the back, as well as this decorative panel on the front. And then I want to put it together with some glue on its tabs. So I'm going to put the sides together. Like so. And as always, you want to take your time, line it up nicely, and make sure the glue's dry before you move on. And as you can see, this tab on the bottom is folded as a valley fold, as well as this side tab and this little side tab on both sides. Then you can go ahead and put some glue on these two top tabs. And glue that right into place on both sides. Then we can fold these under just to get them out of the way so that we can take our house with all the tabs going inside and flip it over. And then you just want to put some glue on these and spread them out so that they're holding the dormer in place. So we can start by anchoring one of them, like the front tab is nice and easy to put in place. And then just one at a time, fold each of those over and glue them down into place. So there's two small ones and two more larger ones, so go ahead and glue those into place. Next we can take our chimney cap here and put some glue on these two side tabs and fold that into place on both sides. And then this is going to go right here on the side of our chimney, or on the side of our roof. So I'm going to put some glue on these two tabs here and get that situated nice and straight there on both sides. And then I can go ahead and glue these smaller little triangles into place on both sides. I just want to hold it for a minute, make sure it takes hold there. And then we can put the rest of our little chimney together. So that's made up of these three pieces. We can go ahead and glue it. Well, actually, let's start over here. And just about everything is a regular mountain fold, except for the very bottom, and also this fold right here is a valley fold on each little segment, each side. So then we can put some glue on the side tab, and you just want to work your way around each side and glue that right into place. So as always, I'm lining it up as precisely as possible and giving it a chance to take hold before I move on to the next one. So you just want to work your way around and get all of them glued into place. And then for the final side, it's got 3 tabs. So you just want to open it up and get all 3 of those. So I'm holding the top one as it's drying and getting the bottom one into place, and then that middle one just kind of falls right into place. So next we can take our small piece, put some glue on that side tab there, and glue that into place. And then each of these little guys on the bottom is going to get folded out towards you. And let's see, could I go, well, I'm going to put some glue on each of these little tabs. And it might help to have a pencil or a pen handy to reach up from the bottom side to put those, make sure that those are going into place from the bottom. So once they're all inside, if you can't reach with your finger, you can grab a pen or something, but you want all those little tabs to be glued into place on the inside. And I don't know about you, but I can just barely reach it just perfectly, but you might have smaller or larger hands than me. So finally, the bottom part of the chimney, we want these tabs folded in a valley fold. We want some glue on this side tab. And then some glue on each of these. And then we can put this into place. And each of the sides is equal. So it doesn't matter which way you have it turned. But I am going to jump across to the other side to make sure that it's centered. Sometimes if you would, I think with a shape like this, if you go in order, sometimes you get to the other, you get back to where you started and it might not line up as nicely. So it's nice to jump across to the other side and then put all the other ones into place. So now, as you can see, the bottom of this is going up on one side. That's going to go up next to the side of the roof. So we can bend all of these tabs in just to make some space, and then flip it over and put some glue underneath each of these tabs and hold those down into place as they dry. Next, we can take our piece of copper here, and I carefully put it over the top of the chimney, and I'm going to put some glue down underneath it and glue that right into place on top of the chimney cap. And then you can bend it forward a little bit, get some glue inside, and glue that into place. And I'm rushing a little bit with my glue, so it's not the best, but you get the idea. So next, we can go ahead and put the rest of our copper pieces into place. So we have some long pieces, and then we've got this piece like this. And there's a folded, there are two little tiny folds here on this one. And that's going to get glued right here, just like this, all the way up. So we can go ahead and put some glue on it. And this shimmery, shiny paper needs a little bit of extra TLC to make it take hold. You might have to hold it a little bit longer if you're using shimmery or shiny paper. It just has a tendency to not take to the glue quite as well. It needs to be held in place and smushed down a little bit more than your average cardstock. So that goes just like that. And then these pieces are going to go into place. And I think the best way to tell which one goes where is to kind of take a look at them. This one with the bend in it has a longer side here. Let's see. That's going to go there. This longer one here, it's pretty straight. There's another one that looks very similar to it, so I'm just going to put that there. And actually, it's a little bit too short, so it must be the other one, the other long one that goes there. I wish there was a little bit more scientific of a method for which one goes where, but let's see here. You really just want to play around with it a little bit until you can tell that you've got the right ones in the right spots. So that would be this, no, this one, yes, okay. So this one has a slight bend at the bottom going off to the left. That's going to go here. And then that leaves this one, which must go here. So let's go ahead and put this one with the bend in it. I've got some glue on the back side, and I will put that in place right there. That's perfect. And this one with the big bend in it going off to the left definitely goes right here. This one definitely goes right here. And you just want to butt it up right into the corner there. I'm just gonna, I'm kind of pushing down with my fingernail along the edge to make sure that it really gets right up in there in the corner. And then these two pieces are really similar. So which one is, one of them slightly longer. That one, the slightly longer one, is going to go, the slightly longer one is going to go here on this left peak. So I will put some glue on that. And get some glue all over my hands and put that into place here next to this left peak. And then this guy, this final copper piece, goes here. On top of the right side peak. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, I could have lined these up a little bit more carefully, but you get the idea. So to add the snow, I'm going to take this piece that's like this, and it's got a slit here and this here. That's going to go right here in the corner, and it's going to come together right here and bend over the top. I'll glue that there. And then next, we've got this piece here, which has a valley fold and then some icicles and snow drifts hanging off of it. That's going to go right here, right in the front. And then we've got this piece of snow here, which goes right over this dormer, like this. And then this nice long piece here with icicles on both ends and the peak in the middle. Oop, it's going to go this way with the flat part in the front, right on top of this peak. And then we can turn our house around, and this nice long piece like this with 3 folds in it that goes right over this area in the back. And then we've got this guy, which goes right here like this, like so. And then we've got 2 little, grab my house, then we've got 2 more little pieces of snow which go like this. This one goes right here just like this, kind of falling over the front. And then this little shoe-shaped guy just goes right on the front of the awning over the bay window.
And then I also took a string of lights, and they're just LED lights on a battery pack. And the battery pack actually fits right inside this little chimney spot. So if you wanted to do the same thing, all I did was hot glue that string of lights underneath the edge of the roof.
Or you can also put some lights on the inside of your house, whether you want to feed them out through the back and plug them in, or battery powered lights can work too. I just recommend that you use LED lights so that they don't get warm or hot for safety. Finally, if you want to add some roof liners to the inside of your roof, you can find those in your extras folder. They're more for if your roof is a light color like white or any light color, and you can see the tabs and guideline shapes through the roof when it's lit up from the inside. If you can see those and you want to cover them up, you can add the roof liners. They just go right on the inside of the roof. That's it. I hope you had a great time making the winter lodge. If you'd love to share a picture of yours, I would love to see it on any social media. I'm SVG Cuts across all social media, so please feel free to share. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time, and happy crafting.